go through this. Oh, hello. Wait, can you see me? Can you all see me? Because I can't seem to see the comments coming up. Hang on, just give me a moment. I'm gonna make sure I can see your comments. Right, let's see. Becky, I can see you, my love. Hello, gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just streaming on Instagram right now and also on my private Facebook group, the Siren Goddess Collective. Hello, Becky. Thank you for joining me today. If you want to watch the replay will be available in the Siren Goddess Collective. I don't save these on my Instagram because just to allow my members the access, the extra time to access them is one of the perks of joining the Siren Goddess Collective. It's absolutely free to join. So if you want to pop in, the link is in my bio on Instagram. Okay. Perfect. All that said and done, I'm so happy to be with all of you. Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I definitely did a fair amount of shopping. I'm not gonna lie. But more importantly, in our realm, I always tell my clients, ultimately all of the work that we do is about really having fun in the reality and in the dimension that we are living in. So having said all of that, I hope that you had a beautiful Thanksgiving for those who have celebrated that, and also just allowing yourself to have some fun and give yourself the permission to buy what you have always wanted. If it's on sale, all of these things are meant for you. Just go for it. Have fun. Give yourself the permission to receive, right? And having said all of that, I'm just going to also say that energetically, over the weekend, the energy shifts were really potent. And one of the things that really, really, really came through for me, in the simplest form I can talk about here on this platform today, is it is so important, so non-negotiable for us now, more than ever, to learn to rise. That's why I'm here to channel through what I have received and what the insights have been for me in regards to the importance of landing to rise. And in specific, with my clients, we go a lot deeper on this. So I'm just gonna go as much as I feel is in service for you, because the work, I can give you a lot of information, but ultimately the alchemy, the transformation that you can absolutely see in the results is, how are you using the information? How are you receiving the information? And how are you feeling when you receive the information? Do you continue to victimize yourself? Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome, darling one. Do you continue to victimize yourself and feel completely helpless, that you feel that you can't do anything because of what the circumstances have shown you? Or are you going to take charge and say, this is the information I have right now, and I'm going to go do what I feel is truly aligned for me right now in this moment, even though it feels so scary? So one of the things I want to talk about when I speak about landing to rise, what I'm really saying is that, yes, there is this whole thing about spiritual openings and spiritual awakenings where we start to really feel very much into another, multi-dimensional version of ourselves. Let's put it that way, right? Who has really gone through that? Let me know. I'm sure most of you have, if you're tuning into my transmissions. I know most of you are not like a first day novice in this whole realm, this space. So if you've gone through that and you want to share, you're very, very welcome to do that, my loves, because your story can truly change someone else's life. And the reason I say this is because when I went through my own spiritual awakening, I did mention this and I did share this in the Elixir Masterclass last week, and it's the last day to watch it today, by the way, and it will be taken down from the collective, just to let you know. But I did mention that at the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I actually felt myself moving through my body. And that to me right now, I know is that my channels, my nadis, my meridians were opening up for the first time in my body, and I could feel my chi, my life force coming to life. This is vital. This is vital. This is what they call the Kundalini awakening as well. It's because when energy is flowing in your body, that's when healing starts to happen. That's when you start to really cross over from just being, specifically bound by the very 3D aspects of living, the patriarchal ways that has been fed to us, the conditioning of what's holding us back and all of those things. We start to see beyond, because now our mind is opening up. And this is science. This is actually science as well. I don't know why there's knocking. That's so interesting. I hope that's not spirit knocking. Anyway, all right. So anyway, where was I? I honestly, I'm telling you guys, honestly, this past few days has been so interesting. Spirits were everywhere. My internet was off and things were just happening, and I was just like, oh my God. But anyway, let's stick to the plan. And by the way, guys, if you're on the collective and you're commenting, I have no idea why I can't see your comments. So I'm gonna pop back in afterwards to respond, if anything, okay? If you're on Instagram, please say hello. Elizabeth, I hope so too. Oh no. I don't know what's happened to my okay, I don't know what happened to my collective. Give me a moment, because it just told me that my live has ended. I'm gonna go back and just make sure I am there. Oh my goodness, yes, Elizabeth. Okay, the ones on the Instagram, give me a moment. I'm just gonna pop back in because I was literally thrown out of my own group. That's what I mean by crazy things are just happening. But you know what? This is what we have to keep doing, right? This is what we're doing in this world, and we just have to have a little bit more fun and not take things too seriously. Anyway, how was everyone's weekend? Just let me know, and I'll pop back onto what I was talking about, because I'm just trying to fix this. You can't hear anything? Can you hear me here? Can you hear me here? Oh my goodness, guys. This is incredibly, insanely disturbing. Can you all hear me on Instagram? Can you just let me know? Thank you. All right, guys. I will try one more time now. All right, Becky, thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna pop back into you can hear me, Serena? Hello, Serena, gorgeous goddess. Welcome Becky, beautiful goddess as well, and Elizabeth as well. Oh my God, I'm surrounded by goddesses today. I'm so excited. All right, so I'm gonna try one more time on my collective. I'm just gonna do that. If not, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'll just roll with it, okay? Hi Diva. Hi. All right, guys. Okay. I have no idea what's happening, guys. Ooh, maybe it's up. Maybe. All right. Elizabeth, my weekend was fun, deep, so many spirits. Yes, I was on a houseboat with a sweet cat. Oh my gosh, beautiful. What's the cat's name? Let me know. Okay. Right, so just an update for those who were watching on the collective and you saw me here. It seems to say that I'm live now. So that's kind of Okay, so it says I'm live. All right. All right. I'm gonna stick to the agenda. Elizabeth, let me know. Oh, beluga, so cute. I actually saw a black cat on Friday, and it was so magical. I was in the garden and I was literally just grounding in. I was earthing with my feet, my bare feet, into the really cold grass, by the way. And this beautiful kitten, like black kitten, just jumped out of nowhere and started prancing around me, and was like play biting on me and scratching me, and it was like hovering over my shoes, and it didn't want me to go back in, so it was quite fun as well. So maybe that's your spirit, Elizabeth. I am looking at ways to lean into body symptoms with love and go deeper. Perfect, Elizabeth. Right. By the way, Elizabeth, we're doing this together today. Oh, sorry. This week when we meet. Okay, Elizabeth is my private client, guys. By the way, just so you all know, she's doing so amazing in the Siren Goddess, and it's just gonna be amazing. And we are always so aligned. This is one of the things like. Today, Mondays, I usually take a CEO day where I just kind of like lean in, and I really tap into my clients and feel into what they need and what is present for them, even before seeing them. And I would write the emails, like, to prepare for the ceremony when we meet. And today for Elizabeth, for instance, I'm just going to share a little bit, is that I really felt like she's so ready to really merge with the beautiful power of the goddess, and in specific, the power of love, the vibration of love, which is something I really want to talk about today. So it's going to be divine, my love. I totally channeled that through for you already. And we're going to look into that, specifically together. So beautiful. It's so amazing, isn't it? It's just amazing. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm so excited. Honestly, when I was doing it, when I was like just channeling through, I just felt like my whole body was vibrating, and I was so excited. I also channeled through for another client, Becky. I don't know if she's still here, but it was just amazing. So anywho's, guys, I'm gonna stick to the agenda. Elizabeth, I'm so looking forward to seeing you. It feels like forever, but although it's never been, it just feels like forever all the time. Okay, so I wanted to speak about the importance of landing to rise. Yay, babe. All right, Becky's here. Yeah, Becky. Yes, I was just saying, I was literally channeling through stuff for you as well, and it was just amazing. So, more on the email tomorrow. It's a surprise for you. Elizabeth's one I've already sent out, so she will know today. But for you, tomorrow. Yay! Okay, so coming back to today's beautiful transmission for everyone. I want you to all know that, I remember now what I was talking about. When I started on my own spiritual awakening, I literally, as I was saying, I felt myself in my own body. And that was actually the first thing that really piqued my curiosity and got me into really going really deep into a rabbit hole of what spiritual awakening really is and what a Kundalini awakening is. Which really formed, I'm quite thankful, it really formed a foundation of catapulted me into the next, which was to very serendipitously come to a space of ceremony. Because I think if I didn't really go through that, I wouldn't be able to really appreciate that. And this is one of the things I want you all to know, is that everything is happening for us. Hi, beautiful Maria. Everything is happening for us. Everything. In every sense of the word, when we have, at a certain part of our journey, we meet someone that we feel is our mentor at that time, but then maybe after a couple of years, we look back and we're like, why was she even relevant to me? I'm sure some of you have felt that before, and it doesn't even have to be a mentor. It could be someone you look up to, the books you've read, videos you've watched. It has to be understood that formed a part of your becoming, that formed a part of the ing, you know, the dash ing is the ing. We are always being, we are always the becoming. And so kind of just disregarding that and saying that, you know, I don't even know why I did that, is almost like kind of discarding a fragment of yourself as well, or kind of judging that as like inferior or not enough. Again, I want this to be understood as a very nuanced way of speaking. I'm saying that yes, we can absolutely grow and expand. You know, some people would hear me today and be like, what the fuck is she talking about? But some people might hear me today and say, yeah, I totally get what she's saying. I totally resonate with what she's saying, right? And for us, it's important to understand this is part of the journey. It is always part of the journey. So if at any point in your life you landed on, or you found yourself in a situation where you're like, this is so much bigger than me, I really don't get it, this is mind-blowing, but somehow you found yourself there, I want you to know that you were meant to be there. You were meant to hear it. You were meant to soak up the energy, the presence of the quote-unquote bigger energy. And this will actually land in your cells in a big way that you won't be able to even understand. And this is what I mean by like, boom, like, whoa, this is so much for me. This is too much for me, right? Because a lot of people, they come into the spiritual space and they think that all I really want is to heal. All I really want is to be able to see everything. I want to see spirits. I want to hear spirits. I want to tap into different timelines. I want to travel to Atlantis. I want to know who I am. I want to talk to aliens, whatever it is, right? That's fun. That's amazing. Awesome. And it is possible. It is all within you. But here's the thing. You got to land to rise. That is the most essential key that lots of people neglect to talk about. There are lots and lots of programs and courses out there these days. I mean, you can even tune onto like Gaia channel and you can see all these talks about planetary systems, talking to aliens and things like that. It's like, great. Light workers, great. Light beings, amazing. But to the expense of physically feeling ill, physically feeling detached from your current dimension, or even feeling like you want to run away from the current situation where you are right now because you are so certain and you believe that you belong somewhere else. Right? I want you to know that to become a human being is actually, the reincarnation process is actually one of the highest level. It's one of the highest levels ever. And the fact that you were able to land here, the fact that you were able to reincarnate as a human to be here, every single person has a purpose that we're here to unfold. And our work is to land. We have to land and anchor our light. We have to learn to remember how to return to our Tao. And that return is a remembrance. It's not someone telling you like, oh yeah, you are like this and this is the way. No. When I work with my clients, I would never do that. Because first and foremost, I don't know what your way is. And secondly, the way is completely 100% possible because you are multidimensional. So if I told you a specific way and say, this is how you do it, this is who you are, this is this, then you are, me as a mentor, I basically picked out one of the many timelines and told you this is the one. When actually you, as the highest multidimensional being, you can actually see for yourself which one you want to go on and which one you want to embody in this dimension to serve your highest purpose. Elizabeth, I feel the higher dimensions are the easy parts, yeah. But it is the embodiment that anchors and holds and heals. So now I have true choice. Yes, Elizabeth. And just to share, Elizabeth is such a beautiful soul. Every time I work with her, we immediately we hang out in space. Like we're just there, right? But the reason she came to me is because there is the work of embodiment. And it's not to say there is anything missing in her. It's not at all. She has it in her. She just needs to remember. And once she embodies that and anchors in that light, and actually what happens is more light comes in, more cosmic magnificence gets to flow in now. Because your cellular memories are activated, your cells are able to sense the higher vibrational frequencies, and now they vibrate at that level because they are able to hold more of the higher frequencies. So what does that even mean? That means your psychic powers are higher, yes, but more than ever, you're actually enjoying life. You actually feel love. You actually remember that you are love, that you don't need external approvals, that you don't need external comments or circumstances to make you feel like the life you're living is worth living. These are so important to understand, because if we're not landing here in this dimension and we're floating in space and we are doing all the work we can to activate our psychic abilities only, and without landing it here, without embodying that version of you, you are absolutely going to be more prone to illnesses, physical injuries. It's like your soul is asking you, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. The Taoist alchemists have always said this for thousands of years. Your body is formed by spirits. Your body is formed by spirits. Actually, I literally bookmark this every day to read it because I want to remember it. I remember it like this. It says here, to follow the Tao, allow yourself to return. To find harmony, allow yourself to relax. Human beings are born into a body. The body is born from the spirit. Retrace this path, find your true nature. And that true nature, the cosmic version of you, which Elizabeth's talking about, is like feeling the higher dimensions, all of that, you get to call that into this dimension. And you know what? And I want to blow your circuits a little bit today, but the collective consciousness is here to do exactly that. We're here to come in, to evolve from a survival-based species to an abundance-based species. It's time that we bring that in and embody that fully. The only thing we are all not doing is exactly what we need to do, which is coming into stillness, remembering, right? It's a practice of landing to rise, landing to rise, landing to rise. So today I wrote in the description before I came on live that I want to talk about the wisdom, and I want to talk about love, the heart chakra, right? I'm sure you're very aware of that. Heart chakra is where love is, right? Everyone talks about that. But there is a multidimensionality to the heart chakra that is not talked about enough. And when I discovered that in my own work, I found that it was so powerful. When I walk my clients through the meditation of the opening to bring them into that field, that unified field, it's like the multidimensionality needs to be felt. It's not just here, it's actually all around you. And you can actually open up the gateway. It's actually behind you. It's opening up. And even when I speak now, I'm speaking in a very local way of how energy works. Energy is all around us. It's always been around us. Energy formed our physical being, and energy formed our etheric body. Energy formed our mental body. Energy formed our emotional body, right? And we have to learn to master our emotional and mental body, as well as your etheric body. Actually, your etheric body is where your chakras are. You know, when you pierce through the veils, the more you do that, the more aligned your chakras are, the more they can communicate to each other, right? So if you are in a space where you feel like, I need to feel more love for myself, or I wish I could feel more love for my life, I don't even love my life, right? If you are in that space, I would absolutely encourage you to come into a moment and just tap in and ask your heart, you know, ask your heart, tell me all of those moments, remind me of all of those moments when I felt truly, truly unsullied love. Like, it could be a moment when you saw the sun rise today. It could be a moment when you saw the little cat or a kitten biting on your toes. It could be a moment when you heard a beautiful song. Anything that reminds you of love. Because it needs to be reminded over and over again, and I'm going to say this over and over again. You are love. You cannot not have love in you, ever. You are love because you are made of love. You are love. And why I say that is because if we just took energy apart and we blew it up from the physical form to the emotional form, the etheric form, the mental form, the spiritual form, into nothingness, like right before it goes back into the universe, the nothingness is love. It's love. That's what it really is. And that's who we really are. And we want our every fiber and every sinew or I can't even pronounce that, every muscle, every cells to remember that, to vibrate at that level. And that is what we say is embodiment. That's when you have health that doesn't even make sense to the doctors. At the age of, 70 or 80, you look like you're in your 40s. That is absolutely possible. It is absolutely incredibly, insanely, but so potentially possible. Because you're vibrating as love and you're no longer attached to time. You become and you embody your timeless presence. That's who you really are, right? So this is the work I teach in the Siren Goddess, and this is the work I guide every person that comes to work with me to do for themselves. Because you are absolutely love, yeah? So just to wrap this up about love, right? How do you land that? How do you embody that, right? It's often a question I get asked. Like, I want to know that, but I kind of know it sometimes, but sometimes I just hate my life. Or I love my husband, but sometimes I really hate him. Like, sometimes I'm just like, or my kids, I don't want to teach them the wrong thing. And what if I transform and I alchemize and then they think that I'm different and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Take a deep breath if that's you. And I want you to know this. Love is always true. Love is always, always true. At the beginning of my journey, when I started to do this work, I had many, many women who would come to me and they would say that exact thing that I just shared with you. I had a woman I remember who came to me and said that, when I started to speak my truth, I have all these people leaving me. My husband left me. My children don't want to talk to me. My friends don't even want to know me anymore. I just live a very isolated life. I'm alone and I'm cool with that. When I read her energy, it was a woman who was bleeding inside. She said she was okay with being alone, but truthfully, her energy spoke everything to me. She was not happy. She had the most amazing life ever, you know, traveling around the world. And her mission was to build a sanctuary in the countries that she was visiting for abused orphans. You know, that was her mission at the time. And yet, the reflection of her mission on her wounds was so clear to me. I knew she needed this work. I knew it. But the thing is, if you are licking your wounds, you don't want to see the truth, and you don't want to break free to feel love because you're so afraid of love, my love, you're just going to stay where you exactly are for eternity. And you're going to hate life, and you'll probably teach other people, if you're a mentor or a teacher or a guide, you're going to teach other people to sustain on emotions that are actually coming in waves. They're not sustainable. You know, like rage, anger, the kind of love we've been taught that's emotional, you know, meaning like it's actually conditional. It depends on what the circumstance is. I'll love you this much. It depends on how much you love me, I'll love you this much. Right? But we are the embodiment of unconditional love. To access that unconditional love, love needs to be infused with what we call wisdom in this dimension. And that wisdom is like a grandmother willow feeling, you know, from Pocahontas, where this grandmother would sit with her and she would sit under the tree and she will ask, you know, for advice, you know, what to do. That is unconditional love. And we are all made of that. But it's just been covered up. It's just been veiled by so many different things that has happened to us. But every single thing that happens to us is always an invitation to come back to that love. Always. Yes, there may be things that have scarred you so deep that you don't ever want to love again. You don't want to give your heart away again. You don't want to trust again. You don't want to be disappointed, right? Those are what I call the subconscious dissonance. These subconscious dissonance need to be released. They have to be released. But not released in a way where you think that they're the bad guys and they need to be like, pull out and plucked out and thrown away and then never come back again. No, they have to be embraced. They have to be embraced. Just as you would embrace a crying child. See her for who she really is. See her for all her tears, the snot that's running down her nose. See her for all her injuries, her scars, her wounds. Hold her so tight. Embrace her, don't judge her. And then release. Release. Love you, darling. And the real work is then to really love. That is it. That is it. Oh my goodness, Alex just popped in and said that there's no sound. There's no sound. All right, guys. You know, I'm just gonna upload this onto. I don't know why. I said so much, and I wish there was like, oh dear. I hope you all can hear me on Instagram. It's such a funny day, honestly. But anyway, upload the version on Instagram. So I am going to wrap this up by mentioning that one other thing that I got as a question when I ran my masterclass, and I want you to deeply understand that, and I'm going to talk more about this because I don't want this to carry on too long, but I really want you to know that when we are in a space where we truly value our worth, we want to be able to come into a space where you're not being asked to dim your light or to be something in order to fit in. And that is why I also wanted to say that the tea leaves that I work with, they are not psychedelics. Lots of people have asked me that, and I want to specifically say that they are not. And I would say the reason I get this question a lot is because obviously, you know, plant medicine ceremonies are quite the rage these days. And I see the profundity and I see the attraction in that. But for my teachings and just, you know, personally just putting a stake on the ground, I always say that I don't work with psychedelics. I am very much a proponent of organic evolution. So I would not propose using psychedelics because oftentimes what it entails is that yes, you may get an experience, but that experience may not be something that your body or your system is ready for. And you know, oftentimes, and I'm not saying I'm not projecting or saying it's all for all, but oftentimes these ceremonies are not even sacred. And plant medicine, they have to be 100% have to be held in a sacred ceremony to mean something, to actually carry out the power that is given in the plant as a medicine. For the plant, for the indigenous plant to be a medicine, it has to be asked, right? So in all respect to all the shamans who do this with psychedelics or things that we call psychedelics, I do not work with that. And so the tea that I work with, they are called living tea for a reason. They were mostly seed propagated, and they are absolutely pesticide and fertilizer free. And they usually hail from trees that are ancient or wild. There's a slight difference between these two. They can be both ancient and wild as well, which makes it highly expensive usually. But these are tea leaves that have been for centuries used to really help Taoist sages, shamans, and monks to really access the frequency of love. You can call it everything else. You can call it Tao. You can call it the thing that created everything. You can call it the universe. It's love. It just is love. And today, my invitation is for you to really feel into that bigness of that power. What is love beyond the emotionally defined love for you? It's such a hard thing sometimes for humans to comprehend, but I assure you, the more embodied you become, the more embodied as a cosmic magnificent being you become, the more you will be able to walk and live and breathe in that power every single day. And that is why it's so important to work with sacred plant in that way, so that you, my love, in reflection, also treat yourself just as sacred. So, all right, my loves, I'm gonna pop off. I would love to hear from you, any thoughts you may have, what you feel about today's topic. I know it's a little bit loaded, but you know, I really wanted to come on here to talk about this because too often we've been told that, you know, all you have to do is this for 30 days and then you'll be okay. Or like, follow your bliss, go bliss out, you know, and bliss out on psychedelics. I honestly, I feel like it taps into such lower astral energies that it actually doesn't serve anyone. And in the long run, it actually will be very detrimental. And sometimes people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. So find something that really resonates with the frequency of love and be discerning. Cultivate your discernment. Something that appears at first as love may not be love. And the only way you can actually know how to discern is to turn inward, to seat yourself in your vortex of stillness, so that you remember and can clearly tell what it is. It's so important, especially as spiritual healers or mystics or mentors. We have to do this work. We have to understand that it's not that kind of bliss that we're talking about when we talk about bliss. The bliss state of true embodiment, it comes from within. Doesn't wobble despite the circumstances. Doesn't change. Maybe even tomorrow when you lose your house, God forbid, it's still there. That's the kind of bliss we're talking about. It's calm. It's joyful. It's not a mania. It's not an, oh yes, I'm so hot, I'm so happy, oh, and then you crash. Have to be said. Okay, my loves, I'm going to sign off and go check what's happening on my collective. If you wanna join the collective, you can tap on the link in the bio. Thank you everyone for joining me. If you wanna DM me and chat a little bit about your situation, where you're at, you're very welcome to. Elizabeth, all ceremony has to be held in a sacred place. Any ritual that says it is the only way is limiting. Absolutely. I know so many people searching. Yeah, Elizabeth, exactly. More and more than ever, and people are awakening very quickly, but we have to land to rise. This is not about living in the lower chakras. It's about landing on your dimension, like in this dimension, and rising back up to your cosmicness, your multidimensionality. So it's a bigger conversation that I have in my work. So if you're interested, you can absolutely DM me and chat a little bit more about this. I send you all so much love, and I can't wait to speak to some of you beautiful clients of mine and the rest of you as well. Sending you so much love. Big kisses. Bye bye.